The scent of blood hangs heavy in the air. The stench sticks to the lavish velvet furniture to accompany the lingering clouds of cigarette smoke. The sound of camera clicks echo the backstage, as there, laying strewn across the floor in an intricately embroidered leotard, is a showgirl with bright red gloves streaking her golden hair. The constant sound of hushed whispers buzzes through the room as two men approach the dame. Detective Sleuth crouches down, a cigar sitting steady between his lips. Welcome to Sleuth and Flatfoot, Private Eye, Episode 3, Case of the Slaughtered Showgirl.
What a shame. She couldn't wait until I wasn't nursing a hangover, huh?
Sleuth shakes his head as he takes a drag from his cigar before his partner, Flatfoot, crouches next to him, straightening his bowler hat.
But didn't you say before that crime waits for no man, boss?
Of course I did. That's such a cool line.
Flatfoot reaches over and gently turns the victim's head over to look at the injury closer. He cringes at the sight of her broken face.
Ew. What do you think killed her, boss?
I don't know. Probably her face getting all caved in like that.
But by what?
The duo glances around the backstage before Flatfoot's eyes settle on a dangling sandbag in the middle of the room. Just a few feet away, there's a few drops of blood on it.
You think it was that sandbag, boss? Maybe it swung down and hit her real hard.
Huh? Where'd you even get that bull malarkey?
Well, there's blood on it, and it's dangling just a little ways away. Maybe it was tied up and someone unhooked it and it went flying towards Miss Sandy.
Sleuth stands while Flatfoot speaks, striding over to a shattered bottle on the floor by a vanity. He picks up one of the larger pieces, with the logo still clear, the gentleman's whiskey.
So, murder. I like the sound of that. Maybe she was poisoned.
What makes you think she was?
Sleuth holds up the bottle shard towards his partner, and he grays.
The gentleman's whiskey? That's my favorite. That doesn't necessarily mean she was poisoned, right?
I don't know. May very well could.
Suddenly, a voice calls from up above. Officer Behrman stands at a catwalk just above Sleuth, holding up a single white button.
Found something. This button was just laying here next to the suspiciously placed lever.
A button? You really think something that minuscule could mean anything? Come down from her, son, and let the real detectives do their job.
Hold on. What are you doing again? This is a crime scene. Who let you in here?
I go wherever Lady Justice calls me. And in this case, she's a jive-bombing cookie with a messed up face.
You two are definitely not supposed to be in here. How did you even get in?
Well, to fully explain that, we'll have to go back to yesterday morning.
The day before, and in the early morning, the detectives stood at the bow of a ferry, as the salty sea breeze blowing past them and the sound of seagulls circling above welcomes them to someplace new. Before them, slowly rising on the horizon, is the island of Miami Beach, gleaming like paradise across the waves. Flatfoot looks eagerly to their destination, while Sleuth seems less thrilled.
Boss, look! There it is. The water looks so clear. Should we go to the beach before we hit the casino?
Whatever you want, rookie.
What's the matter, boss?
Well, I'm starting to wonder why we went on this vacation in the first place. Nothing could give me the same thrill as solving a gruesome murder constructed by the scum of the earth, bringing them to justice and basking in the flame. Truly nothing can beat that.
Just then, the two hear yelling in the balcony above them, followed by a couple of gunshots. Before they can even react, they watch as a body falls past them from above and into the water with a loud splash. The passengers of the ferry begin to scream in panic, while Sleuth turns away toward his destination with wide eyes.
Don't make any eye contact.
What? I thought you said we were ditching to solve a murder, boss.
That was just a bunch of bull malarkey, Flatfoot. I'm tired of everyone depending on me. Can I just be some normal Joe Smo for a day? Being perfect is tiring.
I understand, boss. I'm exhausted too, especially after that whole train fiasco. We're off duty. It's not our job to do anything but relax.
Once reaching the shore, the detectives quickly leave the ferry as police flood it to investigate the shooting. While walking down the sunny city street and enjoying the sights, they watch as a random taxi comes barreling towards the sidewalk, running over a gentleman before careening down the block. They swiftly walk by, averting their eyes. As they approach their destination, they witness another gentleman get stabbed by a masked individual that goes running down the street as the bystanders panic. The detectives speed walk by. Eventually, they enter into the Grand Casino, Brutus's palace. The two take a deep breath and they're inside.
This has to be the most violent town I've ever seen.
I'm sorry, Lady Justice, but I'm not answering your call tonight, no matter what.
Walking into the lavish hotel casino, the two stare wide-eyed in awe at the luxurious sights of slot machines and tables flooded with finely dressed gents and bras, gleaming with the golden allure of monetary gain.
Have we died and gone to heaven, boss?
Wait until we're in the sauce, my young compatriot.
Suddenly, a stout gentleman in a flashy black and red suit lined with gold thread bumps into Sleuth in passing, glancing back at him with a brow raised. Egotistical age pride, a magician.
Watch ready, you'll sit in. The greatness is passing through.
Excuse me? You should be apologizing to me, you schnook. You don't look like nothing special.
Who are you calling a schnook? Do you have any idea who I am?
Do you have any idea who I am?
All I see is a cockeyed egghead straight out of the sticks.
Oh, I am so gonna accuse you of murder.
Flatfoot pushes the two gentlemen apart who have grown increasingly closer, itching for a fight.
No need to snap your caps. Let's just go get some chips, boss.
Sleuth glares daggers at Pride as his partner pulls him away, mumbling insults under his breath.
Damn yuck.
Now, what did you say before about the sauce? What does that even mean?
That means let's get drinks.
Like alcohol?
Flatfoot looks around the area before leaning closer to Sleuth to speak in a hushed tone.
I thought that was illegal.
Prohibition's been over for years, Flatfoot.
Flatfoot stares wide-eyed at him for a beat. Sleuth grins. The next morning, the detectives slunk across the casino floor, feet dragging and faces drawn down.
Why did we have to order a shot every time we saw someone else win a game, boss?
That was your idea, Flatfoot. Right after you proposed taking a swig every time that dame from the magic show came on stage.
Oh, yeah. She was really something.
That cold fish was something, all right. A real piece of work, working with that square who insulted me yesterday.
Oh, come on, boss. You gotta admit, after a few drinks, this act was a gas.
All right, you lost your speaking privileges until we got another few drinks in our system.
Just then, the two hear a scream echoed through the casino from just around the corner. The patrons gasp and rush to see what's going on, including the two detectives who practically get swept up in the crowd. Walking into one of the showrooms, the group sees a stagehand come right out from behind the curtain of the stage, terror posed on her face.
She's dead! Oh my God, she's dead!
The crowd gasps and clamors amongst themselves as many of them turn to leave, while Sleuth and Flatfoot stand there, staring at the sign by the door announcing the show. Pride and Promiscuous, the same show the two had been to the very night before.
No, we're on vacation. We're not taking this case.
Okay. If we just turn around and slowly walk out the door, it can be someone else's problem.
The two detectives begin to slowly exit.
Please, is there anyone here who could solve this heinous crime?
The detectives cringe as they begin trying to push through the crowd faster.
Is there anyone in the crowd, maybe even some detectives, that are smart enough and brave enough to take on this case?
Sleuth stops walking while Flatfoot stares at him in a panic.
What are you doing, Loss? What happened to walking away?
I'm smart enough and brave enough to take on this case.
What happened to our vacation? What happened to the burden of being perfect all the time?
We'll take it.
The crowd clears the way for Sleuth and Flatfoot as Sleuth stands there confidently, basking in the attention.
All right, Lady Justice, You've got me again, you saucy minx. Clear the way, you schnooks.
Flatfoot stands there, his eyes wide with rage, and when Sleuth realizes his partner isn't following, he glances back at him.
Come on, rookie. Shake a leg.
Gibbledy, gobbledy, flippity, jibbity.
Whoa, Flatfoot. Be cool. Be cool.
Flatfoot continues his string of unintelligible profanity as he marches towards the stage, Sleuth following hesitantly after.
And then that's pretty much what happened.
Sounds completely reasonable that you're here then.
Exactly. Now scram. Let the professionals do their job.
The Bearman takes off his hat and nods to the two respectfully.
Of course. So sorry about that, sir.
As Bearman exits, a stagehand approaches and lightly taps on Sleuth's shoulder.
Excuse me, Mr. Sleuth?
What did I just say, you scum?
I'm sorry. I was going to say I have something that might help.
Spit it out then.
Well, last night, when I was cleaning that stage, I heard some shouting coming from Mr. Pride's dressing room. I was real curious what was going on, so I'd like to go check it out.
Please say you heard that son of a gun murdering the poor girl.
No. But I did hear them arguing. Turns out Miss Sins wanted to quit, and Mr. Pride wasn't too thrilled about it. Said he'll get her back for leaving.
I knew it! That bastard killed her! Yes!
And as always, boss, you're dead on.
With that, the final puzzle piece falls oh so perfectly into place. I know exactly what happened last night.
With a dramatic flourish of his coat, Sleuth paces the room, taking a deep drag of his cigar.
It was late at night, and after a mediocre show, Sandy Sins walks into the dressing room of one egotistical H. Pride, her terribly untalented employer. After proclaiming rightfully that he is in fact terribly untalented, she explained that she was done with him and his cheesy act. Outraged by her confrontation, he swore to get her back for the wound to his ego. Little did she know, he had already been planning to get rid of her for weeks. He had planted the perfect trap. It was just a matter of time before she would fall into it.
Sleuth walks over and picks up the shard of glass from earlier, holding it up as evidence.
A single swig was all it took. Miss Sins, tired after a show of being cut in half and flashing her unmentionables, took a single drink from this liquid courage and found herself poisoned. She fell to the floor, dead within seconds, leaving behind the shattered remains of her murder weapon for us to find.
But what about the blood?
And the sandbag. And her face.
Well, after coming in, seeing her lying there dead, Pride, in a fit of ape-like savagery, beat her with the sandbag to further add insult to injury.
Wow. The gall.
You can't say it's out of character for the son of a gun.
Well, then, why would the bag still be hanging?
Hush, hush. Now, where can we find our man?
He could still be in his room upstairs.
Then upstairs we will go. Come on, Flatfoot, let's track him down.
The duo rush out of the room on their mission, passing through the crowds at the casino on their way upstairs. But, in passing, Flatfoot stops in his tracks. Sleuth looks back at him with a brow raised.
Pick up the pace, rookie. The man could have already split by now.
I don't think he did, boss. Look.
Flatfoot points at a familiar sign in front of a new ballroom, Pride and even more Promiscuous.
The plot only thickens.
The two men slowly approach the doors of the ballroom and open them to see a familiar sight on stage, the stout figure of Mr. Pride practicing his act. But right next to him is an old woman, sporting a leotard suspiciously similar to Sandy Sins. The detectives stare in horror at the sight of the frankly inappropriately dressed old lady before Sleuth comes down the rows and up to the stage.
What in the name of God are you doing, man?
Pride looks down at the two detectives in distaste.
Oh, if it isn't the pain in the neck for yesterday, you've got some mossy interrupting my rehearsal.
Rehearsal? With this poor bag of wrinkles? What are you getting at?
Excuse me, but this is my new partner, Dusty Miss D's, and I'd thank you to address her justly.
You already have a new partner the day after killing your old one? You're real sick in the head, Mr. Pride.
What do you mean, chill?
One of the stagehands said she hurt you two arguing last night about her quitting.
Sure, I was a bit heated, but not enough to kill Broad. Afterwards, I found Miss Dusty in the back, and I just knew she had the medium of a star. I went and made it all right with Sandy right after.
Damn it, what the hell? Then who killed the dame?
What? Sandy's dead?
Keep up, Pride. We've already established this.
Weird.
Flatfoot stares down at his shirt, holding up the end of it to look closer.
Weird what? Pay attention, Ruby.
I think I lost a button.
A button? Now what does that have to do with...
Sleuth stops in the middle of this sentence. A long silence falls over the group before Flatfoot looks back to Sleuth, confused.
What? Why are you looking at me like that, boss?
Sleuth stares at his partner with blonde eyes.
You? This whole time?
What do you mean this whole time?
Sleuth slowly reaches for his revolver at his hip, pulling it out to point at Flatfoot. Panic fills his partner's eyes as he steps back in shock.
What are you doing, boss?
The show. The bottle. The button. The one that cop found on the catwalk. It was from that snazzy shirt I bought you last Christmas. The symbol of my tolerance of you is now the symbol of your great betrayal.
Are you saying I killed Miss Sandy? But when could that have...
Flatfoot's confusion slowly turns into rage as he stares at his partner of several years.
After all this time, you'd accuse me of murder? You no good rotten heel.
No, good. You're the one who killed someone, you rat-faced yob.
Flatfoot throws his fists up and begins to taunt him.
You want to back up those words? Put down the gun and we can settle this like real men.
All right, fine. You want to see a real man? I'll show you one, you yellow-bellied snake.
Two-faced and double-crossing scoundrel.
Filthy, brainless insult to humanity.
You very not nice person.
As the two continue to walk in circles around each other, hurling insults instead of actually fighting, the doors of the ballroom open and a familiar face comes rushing in. Detective Gumshoe, his cheeks slightly red and a grin on his face, comes out to the duo.
Can't believe I'm saying this, but great work, you two.
Yeah, save it for after I take this sucker down.
Flatfoot puts down his fists as he turns to Gumshoe, puzzled.
Wait, what are you talking about, Mr. Gumshoe? Ow! What the hell?
Yeah, I got you, you snake in the grass.
Okay, I don't know what that's all about, and frankly, I couldn't care less. But did you not know about Sins? How she's actually one of the most dangerous criminals in the country?
Gumshoe holds up a poster with an image of Sandy on it, and above it, the name Andy Sins is written in bold black letters. Sleuth leans towards the poster, his eyes narrowed in suspicion.
Andy Sins. That can't be the same broad.
Yeah, that seems kind of like a stretch to me.
Gumshoe stares at them in disbelief before taking out a pen and writing an S in front of the name.
My God.
So that means I'm off the hook?
Sure. I don't see why the courts would want to lock up the man who killed the world's most dangerous woman. It's either going to be you or the chair, no doubt.
Hot dog! You hear that, boss?
Yeah.
You know, I'm real sorry about all that stuff I said, boss. You're not a heel or a very not nice person.
I know I'm not.
After a beat, Sleuth gives Flatfoot a light shove.
I only meant half of what I said. I gotta admit, you're not the worst detective on the planet.
Oh, shucks. Thanks, boss.
You know, I can't believe I'm actually saying this, but you two and I'd actually make good actual detectives. How about I get you two interviews with the chief of the NLAPD once we're back in town?
Are you on the sauce, Mr. Gumshoe?
Yeah.
Well, drunk or no, we disrespectfully turned down your offer, Gumshoe. I would never work with my arch nemesis. Besides, they'd be on my case all the time, and I can't work with all those damn rules and laws and hogwash.
Right. I actually quite like what we've got going already, boss. Don't flatter yourself, Flatfoot. Okay.
As the two men set aside their squabbles and begin to come down from their crime-whacking high, they begin to settle back into the comfort and relaxation of their vacation. Sleuth and Flatfoot enjoy their week in Danny Beach, taking a much-needed break and only needed to avoid a handful of other murders along the way. But as the sun sets on this paradise town and on their time away from home, they hop back onto the ferry and begin back towards New Los Angeles, taking with them priceless memories and the realization that one of them is in fact a murderer. But they're buddies, so it's cool. From the files of Sleuth and Flatfoot, Private Eye, the case of the slandered showgirl. Here's exactly what went down. After getting quite inebriated and attending the mediocre magic show, Pride and Promiscuous, Detective Flatfoot drunkenly went backstage to give the duo his praises. While searching for Pride's dressing room, the hammered Flatfoot found his way to the catwalk, where his shirt got caught on a lever controlling the sandbags on stage. While Miss Sandy Sins returned from speaking to Mr. Pride about his new act with Miss Deeds, Flatfoot mistakenly pulled the lever, sending the sandbag barreling toward Sandy and right into her face, causing her to die on the spot from blood force trauma. Unaware of the death that had just occurred below him, Flatfoot stumbled his way out of the backstage, leaving a bottle of his favorite alcoholic beverage on the catwalk, which then rolled off and fell to the floor, shattering. And so, the case of the slaughtered showgirl comes to a gruesome close, and Sleuth and Flatfoot return home knowing the true dangers of alcohol. But they can rest easy knowing they've still got each other to call partner. In a super professional way, nothing more.